Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and as more of us approach Internaut level 35, 45 and beyond, we're gonna start to have a lot of more of these S tier relics. I want to give you a very simple guide, what to exactly salvage, what to get rid of, and what do you do with the salvage materials. We're gonna cover that all in this video as well. First things first, if you guys have no idea like what domain to farm, like you're wondering, EOD, I don't even know where to begin to spend my energy. In that case, I highly recommend you check out the video that I'll link in the video card above, where it tells you what exactly is better to farm. The long story short, if you don't care about watching another video, you just want to TLDR and get into it, farm the elemental set that your main DPS is using. Chances are the pair set is going to be very useful. There are a few caveats, especially if you are using certain characters, but that is for another video. So anyway, you have an excellent inventory now, probably filling out with a lot of these S tier relics. I'm going to tell you exactly what you should keep and what you want to salvage, because the salvage materials is very useful. So first things first, I'm just going to go in this dismantle screen. Very simply put, once you hit like 35 Internaut and beyond, A gear is pretty much not really useful for the most part. So I simply just go ahead and dismantle everything. Why do I do that? Is because you get some of these new tuners, and you also get these EXP materials, which is very good to level up more of your gear. These materials can eventually be rolled up to 5-star or S rank gear. So all of these drive this basically are like converting over to gold tier later if you have like multiple of them. So that's very nice. I just dismantle straight away. So first step, super simple, super straightforward. Anything that you have leveled up in the past, don't be afraid to actually refund them. For those of you who are wondering, the efficiency is 80%. Once you have them like leveled to the max, 80% of the money that you invested in the Denny's and the EXP, you get it back. So I just go ahead and get it back anyway, because it's a significant upgrade. You're moving from one tier lower to one tier higher. That is very straightforward. So the trickier part actually comes for your gear here. And how I'll actually split up the S rank is you will go by order of what partition you're looking for. Partition 1, 2 and 3, super simple, because the main stat is fixed. So anything that I don't really care about, like for example HP defense, I straight away just dismantle this, I'll put it in. So I'm just going to show you, like as I'm filtering, what are my thought process and I'm looking for. This one here, just 1 pen offensive HP. This is on an anomaly set. I don't really care too much about it. This is also kind of dog. This one is not, this is okay, this is decent. So I would consider like keeping this, because it has anomaly proficiency on an anomaly proficiency set, and it has attack percentage. So I will consider keeping this. And let's go on now. Pen, don't really care. Crit damage attack, this is nice. I will actually roll this up to the next one. So I'll leave this alone first, just to see what's the last line. This is crit rate, crit damage. I can use it on Alan as an off-piece anomaly mastery if I wanted to. So I'll keep this as well. How I'm doing this is like your rarity of your gear, plus also the opportunities that you have, what is your current gear and stuff like that. So I'll keep those, because now we're relatively early game. This is straight away dismantled. This one is already all 4 slots are unlocked. No way I'm getting anomaly proficiency in the last slot, so I will dismantle that. This is okay also, because it has all offensive stats. I can use it as an off-piece for some DPSs in this early game stage as well. Here, again, not too much attack, crit rate, HP. I don't really like this. This one is crit damage, HP attack on a chaotic metal set. Can't really care about that. I'll keep thunder metal, because if you hardly farm that domain, doesn't hurt to have one spare in case you need to switch things around. So I will just leave the thunder metal alone. Now it's polar metal. Pen attack, don't care. Defense HP, don't care. Attack anomaly, don't really care too, because there's no anomaly ice right now as of time recording. So some of you might be wondering, EOD, what is that? What if there's a new character that comes up that is like that element and anomaly? That's very hopium. In this early game, I think the resources that you can keep are way more important than hopium. Until you get good pieces, then you can start like planning for the future. But right now in the early game, all of these matter so much, and it's very important. So I don't care about any of these. As you can see, I just go very quickly. Just go super fast. Like some of these, like crit rate with defense HP, late game you will want to roll and see whether it's crit damage in the last slot. But for now, we don't have that much EXP to waste, because these two are like HP defense, which is like kind of doggish. So I won't really bother like rolling the last stat. Even if it's like crit damage, crit rate, not too fantastic for the amount of EXP you waste just to find good stuff. This is not that great. Crit rate here, you have pen. Again, don't really care. I have better ones already. If you guys think that is an upgrade to your current gear, by all means go ahead and use it. Attack, anomaly, don't really care. Okay, this is good here. It's a 3-piece with anomaly proficiency on ice, pen, and crit. If this rolls crit damage, I will like it a lot. So I'll go ahead and lock this first. Crit damage here, defense, and blah blah blah. This one here, nothing much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like put my money where my mouth is. I'll dismantle those that I say is like not as good, and I'll keep these 3. I'll teach you what to do with them in a bit, but let's go and move on to the harder ones, which is partition 4, 5, and 6. Now the partition 4, 5, and 6 are way harder because the main stat varies, so it's a lot harder to get back the same piece, especially if you have a pretty relatively rare one like this, crit rate, crit damage. What I want to say is like partition 6 is very easy to do because you are just looking for attack main stat, attack percentage, energy regen, anomaly mastery in general. The rest of them not as good. Partition 4 is a little bit trickier. Stuff like this, defense, main stat, crit rate, crit damage. There are 2 groups of people. The people who hopium for DPS in future that scales purely off of defense. And there's realists like myself who I think is not very, very likely. So I will actually dismantle this crit rate, crit damage one because it's on a partition 4. And that will be my recommendation also. So fire damage bonus, position 5. This is not easy to find on a crit rate set fire damage bonus. I always will keep one of them just in case I want to bring a new character in. Position 5, elemental is usually the one that is more important, or pen. So HP defense, I don't really care too much for position 5. For position 4, this is where you can get your crit rate, crit damage, and anomaly proficiency. So I generally don't really care about anything if I don't see them. Crit damage, I always keep one, because you might roll a crit rate in the subs, and if you roll a couple of crit rate rolls, it can be used as a very nice off-piece too. Again, this is not really that great. Anomaly set, I rather anomaly proficiency. Stuff like this, but it's all like flat, so I don't care too much. There is a pen, but I think I can find better ones. Given that it's also like a attack percentage, not really caring too much about that. Defense here, HP here. Impact is okay as well. Oh yeah, impact is another one that is quite good for position 6. Other than attack, energy regen, as well as anomaly mastery. So I don't think I'll play with this one because I already have an on set for my impact characters. But if you haven't found like a 5 S rank impact, this would be worth keeping. So I'll just dismantle those. Attack percentage here on a 6 with crit rate, pen. I will check this later, so I will lock it first. I'll check this later as well. This is position 6. And now we are going into the position 4s and the elemental set of ice damage bonus. Your account probably is like your relative ice damage bonus and stuff. So I'm more stringent on the pair set, which is like this Freedom Blues. But Polar Metal, I tend to be a bit more lenient because I want to check out more of the gear so I can see more of the subs. Anomaly proficiency, now in this early game mode, we don't really care too much because we don't have too many anomaly ice. We don't have any anomaly ice. So using this is an off-piece, which I don't think is very likely. Hopium for a future anomaly ice character also is not very, very logical and rational right now, especially since these are so important to find the right gear. So I will dismantle this. This one is like pretty easy. Position 4 has crit rate and crit damage. So stuff like this that you see like attack percentage with crit rate, crit damage subs. This is the tricky one because you will get much better rolls if you just put like a crit rate main stat. Unless of course your character doesn't really scale with crit. For my case, Alan and Lycan both are scaling off of crit rate. The only character that I would think could use this is Sokaku. So for the day that I want to like put it on Sokaku, I will just keep this. But this probably attack percentage on elemental set is worth it on Sokaku to like transfer it on and stuff like that. Defense, don't care too much. HP, don't care too much. Physical damage bonus, ice, I don't care too much. Physical, again, I don't care. Fire, I don't care. Energy regen, I don't mind keeping one of these. It's usually hard to come by. Attack percentage on a position 6 with pen and crit, I'll check out the last line as well. And defense, I don't care. And defense, I don't care. So I'll put my money where my mouth is again and I'll dismantle these. And okay, what's this? Did I forget to lock this? Anomaly proficiency, I don't mind, I guess, keeping it for now. And now is when we actually level up the pieces and what I mean by checking the gear. So once you filter out the ones that you like and don't like, that's when I actually do a bit of filtering. So for example, like this one over here, this Freedom Blues, a 2 partition, because it has anomaly mastery here and attack percentage, I will actually check this, and by check I mean add until next stage, boost it to like level 3, because that's when you get the next node of EXP. It's very, very cheap to do, and now I have anomaly attack pen, which is very, very usable, so I can consider putting this on like my anomaly characters, for example like Grace, like Piper. If I play them, your off-piece also, you think in like the same logic, and that's how you will roll. Crit rate, crit damage, no rush to really check this. It's very attractive to boost this up, but if you are not going to put it on anyone and outperform significantly, I will just hold this for another day. Of course, this is a very fantastic piece, 4-liner. For this one here, Freedom Blues, crit damage attack, this is low priority for me to check because I have a better one here. Yeah, why don't I just check this one for the sake of it? Let's see what it gets. So for 4-liners, I will go up to +6. Because usually 3 is you check and then you plus another 3, you see whether it rolls in crit. So what I mean is always go to +6 for a crit rate, crit damage 2-liners. It'll help you see. So this one, attack HP immediately, I don't care about this already. Even though it's like relatively early game, you can find better ones in future. You don't want something that rolled like this in the long run, especially on an off-piece non-crit set like Freedom Blues. So that's my thought process. For this, since I already checked that and it was absolute trash, I'll check this. It rolls in the pen. Worthy to keep, but I'm looking more for crit rate, crit damage now for my Ellen specifically. And this one doesn't have anomaly proficiency, so I don't care about that. We have a position 3 here. This is very worth it to check because it's a defense piece anyway. Rolls in the flat attack and crit rate. So stuff like that is decent. I will keep it at like level 6. I don't really want to invest too much levels in defensive pieces for now. And then I'll go on to check the rest of them that are level 0, which is, for example, like this one here is like, this is for like a Sokaku piece, I guess, position 5 on a Woodpecker Electro. Not super urgent for me because Sokaku won't want to build for crit too much yet. For position 4 attack percentage, this is okay if I'm looking for a piece. I am actually going to like put priority on my ice sets in the early game. So crit damage bonus, I would roll it up to 3 just to see whether it opens crit rate. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I already have a better one, so I don't bother leveling this up. But if you don't have a better one, just level it up. You can always roll it back for like 80% refund when you dismantle it in future. So not too bad of a detriment. Other than that, what am I looking for? I'm looking for some good position 6. So I see one here with attack, crit rate, attack, and pen. So I don't mind checking this. It comes out defense, but I will just roll this to 6 because I know I don't have a better one just to see what it rolls. Pen is decent, so now I'll just like see what my Ellen is using just to compare to see whether it's a slight improvement. So I'm already using like a crit damage, anomaly proficiency, attack. This one is already fully leveled up, whereas this one is like crit rate, pen. It is an upgrade if I take it to 15, but considering the amount of investment, I would lose like 20%. And for the lack of damage gain, I actually will just stay on my current piece. And that is like my thought process of how I plan my gear. So for example, like Grace here, I have this crit damage, crit rate piece that I got in the past with the same logic of how I do it. But now I actually want to switch it out to this anomaly proficiency one with 3 lines that they can use. So I think it's very attractive. I'll take it up straight away to level 15. The logical process is you should check one by one to see whether it rolls everything to flat HP. But since this is relatively early game, I know I don't have a better piece even if it all rolls into HP. So I'll just take it all up to like 15 straight away. And true enough, everything goes into HP, but it is what it is. I was already willing to accept that. And this is how I upgraded my gear. So I shifted from crit rate, crit damage, which is not the intention, to a more specific set for Grace. Unfortunately, got shitty rolls along the way. But it is what it is. So stuff like that, where you don't really have a better piece, you will just make do until you find a better one. Usually I take them up to 6 because you get cheap amounts of substat rolls, 2 substat openings for very little amount of cost, so it doesn't be that much painful in future. Now the second part to this is after you have salvaged all your stuff, and if you're finding like value in this video so far, going step by step and sharing with you my thought process, the next step then would be what exactly do you do with the salvage pieces? For majority of people, after you have done this method, I highly encourage you go into Woodpecker Electro for the gold tier ones and select this partition over here, partition 5. Then straight away partition tune 5, because this is going to be the most efficient way of getting elemental sets. So you can see here, I have a chance of getting Aether elemental set. I'll keep this straight away. You have elemental sets like, come on, one more will be elemental, right? Not just one. So okay, you have one physical damage bonus here, and you have looks interesting for maybe a attack scaling character like Sokaku. I'll just keep it. So you have a good Aether damage bonus, a good physical damage bonus. These are keepers, and you can level it out if you are playing those DPSs as well. Otherwise, I'll go into like the intermediate tuning here, and go, for example, into this partition here, where you can find the Woodpecker Electro, the slot number 4, because what you're looking here is the crit rate, crit damage means that if you're in the early to mid game, and you can like slowly roll them up. So you can, for example, do this, roll this up. Once you get a 5-star, I usually don't care about the 4-star pieces. You are using a lot, but you are trying to take up the PT over here. So you're just like trying to use the PT so you can guarantee yourself a 5-star gear. Of course, this is slightly later on when you have a lot more A rank. If you don't have much A rank, don't partition tune. You want to like get more gear sooner. So now I get 1 here. It's attack main stat. Unfortunately, not very useful, but we basically rolled up all our purple gear into a new one, which is a gold tier one. So that's how I do it. For the purple, I generally roll partition 4 because you are just rolling it out, and if you can get a nice crit rate, crit damage on this set, I don't mind the inefficiency because all I'm doing is just trying to get more S rank pieces in the game. And if you found this video helpful, do like and subscribe for more of such future content. Do consider checking out our which domain to farm for maximum efficiency kind of video. That's going to be very helpful for those of you who are coming to the game, especially if you're trying to maximize efficiency, least wastage. And again, thank you so much for watching. See you next video.